412-969-1167. I was a little thrown off there. I didn't hear our music, Scott. Hey, Peanuts.
I didn't hear it either. Did we miss that, Brian?
Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, let's play it.
You want to hear it?
We want to hear it.
Official.
Right,
it needs to be
Hey,
official.
Peanuts.
There we go.
Welcome to the Hey Peanut Sports Show, a Wednesday night show that features the sports opinions of the fans sitting up in peanut heaven. This show airs Wednesday nights here on Beaver County Radio, and it is brought to you by TK Roofing Specialist in Elwood City. The phone lines are open at 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. Now let's introduce your hosts for the show, Scott Kincaid and Brian Pasquale.
All right, guys,
There
we
we
started
go.
that over. I feel like that was like the start to the Browns' first series, where they went out there and they were like, whoops, all right, we're down 7-0. Let's try this again. All right, everyone, welcome to the Hey Peanut Sports Show. We'll be here from 4 to 6. I'm Brian Pasquale. We have Ryan on the controls taking your calls, and Scott Kincaid here on 1230 WBVP and 99.3 FM. You can also check us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. So yeah, I guess maybe we just get into the Browns. Let's roll up our sleeves, right?
Yeah, when we heard the clock, I thought maybe you were ready to get into baseball, but let's do football. I mean, there's so much to talk about there. We got to win.
A win is a win is a win, no matter how ugly it was.
And I think if you're going to get 10, they're all going to look like that.
9 more ugly ones to go.
That's right, because I didn't see anything promising on the offensive side of the ball, and the defense, as great as they were, which is what won the game, I don't see that performance coming every week to where you can count on that. I know defenses win football games, but if you can't score, I just don't know if the defense can score. They can be great, and they can be a good defense to a lot of good offenses out there, but they can't. You can't
Rely
count.
on
I
the
don't feel
turnovers for
scared.
touchdowns.
Right, yeah, and interceptions. Right, you can't rely on that. They're nice when they happen. Even when Polamalu was here,
My favorite
he
Steeler.
could do that. He could change, and he made the Steelers playoff contenders or in the playoffs with these few games. But they also had Ben Roethlisberger, and they had some offense. And so I don't know if I saw that. I mean, we can go into that. I just don't know. Even though he didn't get hurt, I don't know. I thought Trubisky has a calmer head about himself behind the football than Pickett. Just looked nervous, like he was scared or he didn't know what to do.
I was just telling Brian that before the show. I said, literally, he looks more scared than he did last year. It shouldn't, he looked nervous. He was a little Yancey in the pocket from the get-go, right out the gate. I thought this weekend he looked scared.
Yeah, it's shocking to me. I don't know the psychology behind Mike Tomlin. Maybe is it the preseason? Let's build their confidence up, and maybe we can shake some of these nerves. And that just didn't translate like he was hoping to an actual field performance.
Didn't Tomlin deflect and give all the blame to the offensive coordinator, saying I was worried about the defense?
That's kind of what he did. It is. You pick up on the little things, too. And I thought it was interesting to listen to him talk. I didn't know how he was going to weasel his way through that last interview. Because he was trying to be, hey, we won the game and because we're good, but he knew he couldn't say that.
Ultimately, the win is what you want. But if you play like that, you're not going to beat anybody but, I guess, the Browns.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't play spreads, but I do like to know who's favored. Are they favored or not favored against LA or against Las Vegas?
Ryan, can you look that up?
I sure will.
I would assume the Steelers are a slim
Underdogs.
favorite. No, I would assume they're favorites. The Raiders are not
they're-
good.
Oh, and the Steelers are.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so when we're comparing apples to apples here, so I would think that the Raiders at home and have the same record, 1-1, and they played the Broncos, and they played last week.
I did not know. I am not a Raiders fan.
Texans, maybe? I don't know. I'll look that up for you, Ryan.
Oh, all right, we got the spread. We're looking up who the Raiders played. We are super prepared for this show today.
Oh, the Bills. They lost to the Bills.
They did lose to the
and
Bills. That's
and
right.
Yes, and then they beat the Broncos by 1 point. And the Broncos looked pretty good last week, too. That surprised me.
Steelers are 1 point favorites.
See, Scott, I was right. You were wrong. I'm
Well,
good
these numbers are based on people that gamble. You would think Vegas would be
Yeah.
more gamblers, and I figured more gamblers would drive that favoritism up at home. But the Steelers travel really well.
I'm sure it's gonna be
really
three-quarter
interested
Steelers.
to know how much yellow is going to be in that stadium. I imagine quite a bit.
Gold,
Gold,
black and gold.
black and gold.
Well, the only thing that I
Wiz
see,
Khalifa over here, black and yellow.
the thing that I see is this: Week 1, Scott was not so much a Steeler fan, and we lost. Then he jumped the bandwagon last week, and he came out and openly said, "You know what? I'm jumping the bandwagon. I am a Steeler fan, and we won this week." So, Scott, it all comes down to you. I don't think it has anything to do with the quarterback or the defense or anything like this.
It's me.
It's you.
It's me. I jumped on the bandwagon and we won an ugly game.
I feel
so-
like Scott jumps on and off the bandwagon every segment we have.
No, I'm not off the wagon. I'm still on the bandwagon.
What's going on with Kenny Pickett though? Like, I mean, how can he look that bad?
It was terrible throws. He was behind. He threw him behind. He had wide open receivers. So you can't blame Matt Canada.
Right.
The scheme was right. If the guy would have thrown the ball and the guy would have caught the ball, then he would have looked like a genius and the score would have been probably a little bit more lopsided. And, it's a terrible thing, and my prayers go out to Nick Chubb and his family. That was one of the most vicious tackles I've seen. And they didn't show it on television, but then I can't go through Facebook without seeing it 10 times because of the people that
I
just
heard
think that's
that-
something neat that I want to see is that leg broke.
No, it's really bad. Like,
I
I
know.
don't even want to say what I might have to happen.
Oh, I don't think that.
They say that's a chance.
That's terrible.
If you
Yes.
recall, and I remember this because I'm old. Do you remember when Joe Theismann got hit? The hit that ended Joe Theismann's career.
Yes.
It was the same exact thing. If you remember what that looked like, this is what it looked like.
I don't think it was dirty. Do you guys
No.
even think
Oh,
anything?
absolutely
He's just
not.
going low to tackle him, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how do you tackle Nick Chubb if you're
Exactly.
a free safety?
Not high.
Well, and you're totally trained right now as you don't tackle the helmet. And if you're running in the trajectory that Nick Chubb runs in, which is downhill,
He's a
and
big
you're-
boy.
and he's coming towards you. If you're not hitting his helmet, the only thing open is his lower half.
Who was making the tackle? Was it Highsmith? It was one of our linebackers. Like, actually made the tackle, and they had him up top.
I don't
And
recall
Fitzpatrick
who had him up high. Yeah.
came in and then hit the leg, and it was kind of like he was like picking him up to tackle at the exact same time Fitzpatrick hit him in the leg.
Did it knock him out? When I was watching on television, it looked like he was knocked out, but then he was up and he was going. He played the rest of the game, didn't he?
He went to the hospital afterwards, and I love. Remember they saying he has like chest contusions, bruises. He has chest bruises.
Oh,
Bruises.
yeah, yeah. If you watch enough ER, you'll say contusion.
Right. Right.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if you would say what happens this week if Pickett doesn't do well. Like, let's just hypothetically say first quarter, this guy can't complete a pass. You're 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Does Mike Tomlin finally just go, you know what? Sorry, guys. I know you guys always, but it's my football team, and I'm going to try a different guy. I'm not going to just ride this guy until he embarrasses us with him.
Well, the Raiders'
I mean,
defense
that's
is
why
no
he-
Browns nor San Francisco, so I would assume that we'd be able to move the ball. But hypothetically speaking, like you're saying, if he does 3 and outs, how do you not, just at least make a change, not permanently, but at least try to win the game, right? Isn't that what it's all about?
Right. I mean, that's why you have. I mean, you're not paying Trubisky and Rudolph to do nothing. They're there just in case something doesn't go well, and so maybe it's just not his time. Pickett's not his time. I don't see the potential. Just don't see the potential right now. I hope it turns around, and maybe it was he needed to not play here in Pittsburgh, and he has to go on the road to feel something, or I don't know.
I think any quarterback, unless you're 0-2 and you let up, you just got dominated the first couple of games. I don't think you could pull your starting quarterback this early. you got to let them play it out because we played two top defenses. Say what you want, but the San Francisco and the Cleveland defenses are top defenses. Now, this isn't an excuse why Kenny shouldn't perform, but I think that they're going to take a look at him against these other teams, against the Raiders, against the Texans the following week, and then the Ravens 3 weeks from now. So you'll
be 1-4 before you decide to go, hey, you know what? This isn't working. I think you're out of the picture.
Or we could be 3-1. Because, again, the Raiders and the Texans are two of the lower teams in the league opposed to San Francisco and the defense of Cleveland. They're going to take these next two games. They're not going to yank Kenny Pickett before the quarter-way mark. I can't imagine. That's not a Pittsburgh thing unless there's a bad problem. Say what you will. We are sitting at 1-1 right now. In second place alone because we have the tiebreaker with Cleveland. It's way too early to pull your quarterback.
He's bad, though.
I know.
I'm not saying to pull him. I mean, Trubisky looked bad last year, too. So, I mean, it's not like there's this guy waiting in the wings. I know they're both young. Trubisky a little bit older, but I just 3 and outs. I hope that's not what happens. I hope they got there and scored on the first drive.
San Francisco had, 5 3 and outs in a row?
Yes.
I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders have quite the defense that the 49ers have, so I don't know. We'll see.
We're playing with some hurt people now, though.
There is hurt people all over the league.
I have not done that research yet. Do we have an injury report on the Raiders coming up this Sunday?
I'll take a look. See, but in the meantime, guys, you might want to mention just today the Player of the Week was named in the AFC. Top defender honors to Alex Highsmith, who had 7 tackles, a forced fumble, a sack, and an interception touchdown against Cleveland. AFC Defensive Player of the Week, Alex Highsmith, guys.
That's my boy.
And he's Pittsburgh Steelers Offensive Player of the Week.
right. He
scored more points.
Sole reason for 14 points.
So, yeah, he well-deserved.
Guys,
well-deserved.
Do you want to hear
you got to love to see it because that's what you love about being a Steeler fan is the defensive side of the ball.
You guys really
T.J. Watt broke the record.
Yes.
So I don't know how you want to look at that.
He's 90 less games than James Harrison did it.
He's a specialty player. He's not effective against the run. But how can you be effective against the run when you're an edge rusher?
Right, I agree.
And if he's
not an
rush
edge rusher,
around the
he's
edge,
an outside linebacker, and you're supposed to play against the run and the defense. You don't just sell out every play to get some individual sack records. I'm so over this TJ Watt being this fantastic guy. He literally
he's a beast. I think you're crazy. I think he's a beast.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I don't care. I do not see it. I see the run play. What they had like a 60-some yard run play down to the one. There was a shoelace tackle. He could have tackled the running back in the backfield, and he like literally went 20% at him. And this is 2 weeks in a row I've seen it on big run plays.
I understand what Brian's saying. I personally like him still. I think that he is a really good player, but I have seen Brian's arguments all week on social media, and he's not wrong. It's just what way you look at it, which way you're going to come at it. I don't think either way is wrong. Brian's not wrong. Scott, you're not wrong.
Well, it's the Michael Vick, and we're going to compare this to Michael Vick in some weird way. Okay, Michael Vick was not a great thrower of the football, but he was a great quarterback.
What do you mean? He could throw it out of the stadium,
but he wasn't accurate, and he didn't have great decision making, and he didn't know when to throw it or how to throw it. He was known to just run the ball because you couldn't catch him, and that was his thing. And so he was a special kind of quarterback, where T.J. Watt's a special kind of linebacker who
has one move: go outside, run up the field 10 yards, and then work your way back to the quarterback.
That's a difference maker.
He does make big plays. I mean, I'm
and
never going to deny that.
In today's NFL, they don't run the ball as much. They throw it more often than not. So
198 yards they ran on us.
You want to hear something it's going to really fit your argument, guys?
Chubb. That was with Ford.
But
he had a couple of those carries where like the couple of those 198 yards. There was 140 of them were 2 plays by that guy.
Yeah, the one where T.J. Watt didn't do anything and just stood there and watched the play.
This is going to blow your mind, guys. I know that we do have to go on break here shortly, but I just want to mention this. Did you guys see that Pittsburgh did not run one offensive play inside Cleveland's 30-yard line? We were not inside of Cleveland's 30-yard line one time in this game. That is mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's not the fact that we couldn't score. We couldn't get to their 30. What was the big pass play to Pickens was the only score that we had when we
that was beyond. That was out. Yeah.
Right. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk maybe a little bit of Pirates. You think, Scott?
Hey, whatever you want to do.
A little rundown of the Pirates.
We can go back and forth because we still have to go through the NFL.
We have all kinds of time to go through all sports.
I was so wrong on my picks, and I was so right.
We'll get into that next hour.
Was
All
it-
right,
that's a
you've been
classic
listening to
70s song, right?
WBVP 99.3, and you can check us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, so stay tuned.
TEK Roofing Specialists are known for quality, honesty, and efficiency. You can reach them at 412-969-1167. Whether it's a small leak or a new roof, TEK Roofing Specialists will fix the problem. Check out TEK Roofing on Facebook to see quality work they've done. TEK Roofing uses only the best products like Tamco's Titan XT Premium Shingles with a 160-mile-per-hour wind warranty. That's TEK Roofing Specialists, 412-969-1167. Insured, licensed, and certified.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Hey, Peanuts!
Welcome back to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studios here with co-host Scott Kincaid. Our producer Ryan is here to take your calls at 724-774-1888. We would like to thank our sponsors, Tamco Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all of your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit of Pirates here for a segment, and then we'll probably go back to football. We've got even some music we're going to do today. We got a couple guests that are calling in.
I'm excited.
It's a great show. Feel the energy. I mean, the Steelers win is a Steelers win, whether it's ugly or pretty, right?
Yeah. Morgan Gruber's coming on. I want to see if she'll give us, I guess what she was on with Lionel Richie, right? American Idol.
I don't think it was Lionel Richie. It was a country singer. It was one of the women and somebody else. I'm not sure. I don't think
We're
it
going to
was.
have to ask her about
Yeah.
that, who it was. But I'm going to feel bad then because I watched it, but I didn't. I was watching her and not the.
Right.
I guess I thought that Lionel Richie was on there.
He could have been. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think that it was. I could be wrong.
So speaking of ugly wins, the Pirates had an ugly loss last night. Scott, did you watch that
ugly
one?
win. That's an ugly loss. It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
And just when I thought there was maybe a little bit of life in them after they took one from the Yankees, and that was a pretty good game. They really should have took the first game. They gave it up in the ninth. Thank you for our. I guess I don't know how you feel about Bednar. I like him,
he's awesome.
but
Hey, you can't win them all.
you can't win them
You
all.
cannot win them all. I do have a question for.
No, but when you're
both
trying to
of you.
win 10 more and 7 of them are your fault,
Well, here's the thing. If the Pirates hire Mike Tomlin right now and he coaches or manages them their final 11 games, will they go 500?
I don't think so.
They are 70-81 currently with 11 to go. They could finish a what's Ralph call mediocre Mike 500.
Well, I mean, they're still relevant until they say officially eliminated from the playoffs. That has not happened yet.
There's not very many series left. We have 3 2/3 of a series left, right?
Right. We have Mitch Keller
we are
tonight.
away, and then home against the Marlins. But we are at the Cubs at 7:40 tonight, and then again tomorrow at the Cubs. Then we have the Reds for 3, the Phillies for 3, and then we finish up at home against the Marlins.
Yeah, the matchup tonight's Mitch Keller against Justin Steele. Mitch Keller's record's 12-9 this year, the 4.04 ERA, and Justin Steele is 16-4 with a 2.73 ERA. He looks like he might be tough to hit. They did not put the lineup out yet.
Right.
They just said the pitchers, so you just don't know who's going to do what or who's going to be where. They brought Henry Davis back up, so Hank's out there, and he's out there. He's DHing. They brought him up as DH.
That's fine.
A couple nights ago.
Okay.
But it's like a Yahtzee game. They just throw all these guys in a thing and roll them up, and then, woo, you're going to play first tonight.
Do you think it's Yahtzee, or do you think he plays darts and he just closes his eyes and he throws, and let's say the 20s, like
I'm sure there's a method to the madness.
Shing Wong Bay. And
I mean, we have one more week before the end of the season, or we have 2 more weeks, 2 more shows.
Okay, they are.
But after the last game, we want to have a show.
Not next week, but the following week. Yeah, we're going to do a show to kind of wrap up the regular season of the Pirates. Obviously, there won't be any postseason to talk about, but
we're not officially eliminated. Negative Nancy.
I'm predicting
they could win them all.
Just call me Nancy.
I do like the way they're playing. When you look at the overall down the stretch here, if they'd have been playing that way all year long, we're totally in first place and probably the favorite to go to the World Series if they just be playing like you said. I mean, they've been winning series. They had a sweep in there over the last. They lost the series to the Yankees, and that's the first time they lost a series in quite a while. And so we kind of hope that trend is something that carries into next year. I know the offseason in baseball is more offseason than any other sport, but I'm excited about next year. I am kind of excited, more excited about next year now than I was last year, and I was real excited last year. I think I'm really excited to see O'Neal Cruz come back. I hope that I hope they did the smart thing and it pays off, that he's healthy when he comes back, and then we have a real threat at shortstop. And we have a real threat.
As long as he's not sliding into home.
Is that right?
That's a major threat to his
ankle.
And
you don't want to pinch run the guy because he's fast as lightning.
Oh, he should be in there.
He's 5 steps from first to – he takes 5 steps. And he's from first to second.
So when we've been talking about the Steelers, and I think, Scott, I think we all kind of agreed that this is the year before the year that they break out. I think for the Pirates, next year – is the year before the year. I think they'll be much improved from this year, but I don't think they'll be a contender next year. I see it the following year and the next 2 seasons after that as well.
So you're writing them in directly after the apocalypse then. So, I mean, this is the
zombie apocalypse.
This is down the road. So, but you're talking about like the year that we're probably going to see Paul Skeens step in as a. Or is that what you're kind of...
I think that 2025, 2026, and 2027, they will be a playoff team and a contender to go deep in the postseason, because all of the guys that are 23, 24 will all be hitting their prime, getting into their prime, and will be able to keep everybody. Then, 2028, it'll be, let's start selling people, or maybe we'll get a different owner. Who knows?
My big thing is this: they have to go out and get some kind of starting pitching. If they don't work on the starting pitching situation, I don't think things are going to get better in the majors. If you're going to be a team that does contend, you have to have really good starting pitching. We have Mitch Keller,
12-9 his record. 4.04 ERA.
If there wasn't,
you're going to say that's our best guy.
Let me. Yes, he is our best guy. But 2, you have to have hitting. You have to have some kind of offense behind you as well. If you're going to be a good pitcher.
Yeah, the win losses don't say it all.
Right, you're right. Paul Skeens again. He's still a little ways before he comes up. And the kid, what we just brought him up this year for a while, that Quinn Priester, I think he's another guy that they're looking to put in the rotation.
I like Hatch.
So
Hatch, they got, and Baraki.
we can't be just okay with the starting pitching. We have to put together a nice rotation if we want to contend. I believe that.
And I don't think you can, like, I mean, the
We had
Braves.
a couple injuries too to pitching, and they'll be back next year.
Yeah.
What was it, Brubaker and Velasquez, right?
Yes.
You
I
have some-
liked Vince Velasquez. I was happy
I think
with
they'll
him.
sign him again.
So what you're saying though, like we see programs out there or organizations out there that are able to put together solid ball clubs that are going to last 3-4 years. So what you guys are telling me that the Pirates are going to next year turn into this team that's going to be around for 3 or 4 years, and I'm thinking no, it's small market club. Next year's the year, and if we don't get it done, you're getting sold.
Nah,
that's possible.
No.
That's the Pirate way.
I know, but they're all making like $700,000. You
Right,
know,
right.
I mean,
They
there's,
just
there's
can't-
not too many big contracts.
He can ride out a winning season for 10 years. He's proven that. He's proven that since it's been almost 10 years since we've had a winning season. And he's proven that we'll still be fans. We're still going to go to the game. We're still going to buy
Didn't
tickets.
we have like
We're still gonna
98
do
wins
it.
the last time we had a winning season?
One of those 3 years we had 98 wins.
It was the
yes.
third. It was the third. I
Or was
believe.
it?
2014.
Yeah, because 15. Because we beat. We hosted the Cubs that had 97 wins.
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals had 100. And then we got rid of everybody.
Right. That was the year everybody in the Central was tough.
Yes.
Right.
We have a bad problem doing that. Back in the early 90s when we had Bonds, Bonilla, Van Slyke, Doug Drabeck, what happened? Got rid of them all after 3 good seasons. We have this again, 2013, 2014, 2015. 3 seasons. You missed that window. Getting rid of all the big names. So, I mean, there is a small window for these small market teams like you're saying. And, is this going to be the next window that we're going to see is what Brian is saying, the 2, 3, 4 years down the road from now.
We got some tough matchups coming down the pike here. There's 11 games, right? Is that what we said?
Yes.
11 games. We got the Reds, the Phillies, the rest of the Cubs, the rest of the series with the Cubs, and then the Marlins.
Right.
And so
you
all
think
of
they win
those
6
teams,
of those?
all of those teams have higher hopes of making the playoffs than us. So what do you realistically, even though they're playing good baseball,
Do you think they'll win 6 out of the next 11?
I think they're capable of winning 1 in Pirate Way. I think that's what they're capable of, and then you got your target at 72 wins, and just about half of the baseball world got the pick right as 72 wins, because down the stretch here, they could very easily only win 1. I don't see how they're trying to win more than 1 other than they're just, like you said, they throwing anybody out there. We're going to try some people out. It's okay. We can stay irrelevant. Maybe we win the game. Maybe we don't. But they're playing great baseball, so I also could see them winning them all. So don't think I think they're only going to win 1. I could see them winning them all. It's just too hard for me. They're just too unpredictable of a team this time of year at the situation that we're in to know if they're really trying to win or if they're, and I shouldn't say trying to win, but if the management is putting the best team on the field to win like it was a playoff run, they're not. They're still bringing up people, playing young talent, and it's a fun time of year for a lot of people that are Pirates fans. They like, hey, you get to see that young talent at the end of the year, because I'm tired of watching,
the stadium is even more empty.
Greg Polanco strike out every night. Let's put somebody else in there and try. And they do that at the end of the year.
You could toss your peanut heaven ticket in the garbage and walk right down and sit by the field. I mean, this is the
hay peanuts.
Yeah, yes. You can have these luxuries this time of year because people, they're just not going. They are in football mode. And you know what? Bless your heart. If they do it and they get to 500 or whatever you're wanting them to do, I hope they do it for you. But me, honestly, I can't see it happening in a million years. But I hope they do it for you, Scott.
Scott did, for all of you out there, predict the Pittsburgh Pirates to win 88 games this year. They are currently sitting at 70 and 81 with 11 to go. The best they could do is 81. The worst they could do is 70, obviously. Scott, what's your prediction?
I just said.
But what is it?
Oh, don't make them do that all over again.
Did he say 1 or did he say all of them? I don't know what he said.
Oh. I guess if you go based on the way they've been playing, no matter who they've been playing, because they've been playing some good teams too. They haven't been just playing junk teams. So they've been winning 75% of the game. So out of that would be, I don't know. So I give them 77 wins.
So you feel they'll win 7 more games out of these last, 11?
And I hope they break the hearts of the Reds, because I don't like the Reds.
Oh, yeah, being a spoiler is great.
If you can spoil them and
win.
sweep the Reds and keep them out of the playoffs, that's bonus Pirate lore. and we'll probably get hit by a lot of pitches if that happens.
All right. Well, we are going to go to break here. You've been listening to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show at WBVP 99.3, and you can check us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with a guest.
At Geneva College, your academic experience will prepare you with exceptional expertise in your chosen field. But what you'll learn is so much more than just that. Integrating faith and learning, you'll grow to see God's purpose and calling in your life's work. You'll be challenged to imagine how the world around you could be different and what your part might be in making that difference. You were made to live courageously. Visit geneva.edu today.
The Rochester True Value, located inside the Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard, is proudly serving the community. The Rochester True Value is independently owned and operated and has experienced workers who can help you with your home projects. The Rochester True Value has tools, products, and all the equipment needed for you to get the job done. The Rochester True Value inside the Shop and Save is open and ready to help with your home improvements. That's the Rochester True Value in Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Hey, Peanuts!
Welcome back to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studios here with co-host Scott Kincaid. Our producer Ryan is here to take your calls at 724-774-1888. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tamco Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all of your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. We do have a special guest. Ralph Williams is on the line here from the Sports Corner show here at Beaver County Radio on Tuesdays from 5 to 6. Welcome, Ralph.
Hey, how you guys doing? What's up, Brian, Scott, Ryan? How are you?
How you doing, bud?
Doing great,
Fantastic.
man. How are you doing?
Not too bad. What's going on here? I see you guys are talking about Steelers. I have a couple things for you. I found out that Matt Canada makes $500,000 a year, and he's the lowest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL.
I think he's way overpaid then.
It shows.
Yeah. Also, one other thing here.
But I don't care what kind of coordinator you are. If your quarterback can't throw the ball, you're not going to have good results.
No, not at all. You're right. I agree with you on that. Also with Matt Canada, he's friends with Mike Tomlin because he recruited Mike Tomlin's son Dino to play for the Maryland Terrapins. And right after Matt Canada got fired when he was a interim head coach there at Maryland, Dino Tomlin transferred to Boston College.
But the buddy system.
Yes. So.
Yeah, that's the way it works. It starts at Little League, goes all the way up to the pros. It's about who you know.
Yeah, it's not what you can do, it's who you know, right?
Hopefully you know the right people.
Right.
Well, what do you think about Matt Canada? Is he a major problem for the start, or is he just part of the problem?
He's part of the problem. It starts at the top. Mike Tomlin, mediocre Mike, said at his press conference that he at one time, I'm too busy worrying about the defense with Terrell Austin. So Mike Tomlin isn't paying any attention to the offense. He's so busy with Terrell Austin and sticking his finger into that defense. Okay, that's a problem there. That's where it lies, at the man at the top. He's the captain of the ship. He's got to fix it. And I don't care, I said this once, I'll say it again. Business is business, friendship is friendship. And, and that's how it goes. And he doesn't understand that. I mean, he doesn't understand any of that. And
he gets the free pass. He's got Pittsburgh's get-out-of-jail-free card, so to speak, on a lot of situations just because of what he was able to accomplish in his career here. I think that if I was there, I would have loved to have been there for that interview or whenever that conference that they had, that news conference, and say, well, then if you were worried about the defense, then maybe you should be the defensive coordinator and Matt Canada could be the coach, or somebody else could be the coach, because the coach is supposed to monitor both the offense and the defense. That's why you have a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator. And so I didn't like his answer either. I totally agree with you. Mediocre Mike is putting it nicely.
All right, we have Ralph Williams from the Sports Corner Show on the line with us. He's on from 5 to 6 every Tuesday here at Beaver County Radio. The defense, are they going to be that dominant next week versus the Raiders?
Well, they have to be. I mean, if Garoppolo plays, Garoppolo is one of them up and down kind of quarterbacks, and if he stays healthy, sometimes he can be good. And he may end up being good against the Steelers. Now, Josh McDaniel has one win against the Steelers. Remember, he was the coach up at Denver when Tim Tebow decided to have a good game, in that playoff match.
Yeah, didn't Ike Taylor get burned for the
touchdown? We're trying to have a nice show here, Ralph. Stop bringing up those games.
I understand what you're saying.
Now, I don't even know who the Raiders running back is, but will they rush for close to 200 yards like the Browns did?
Josh Jacobs, he's a little rusty. He hasn't played. He didn't practice. He wasn't in training camp. He just signed a contract right at the beginning of the season. And, they eked out that win against Denver, the Vegas Raiders. And then last week they got blown out by Buffalo. So we're going to find out. I think the defense can hold its own. I don't think the Raiders are that good on offense, but we're going to find out and, see what happens. I mean, in our special teams as well, we have to start running the ball to the 30-yard line like we did against San Francisco. We have to get good field position. We have to control both lines of scrimmages. If we don't, we're going to have a big problem.
All right. I would like Ryan, Scott, and Ralph all to answer this question. We'll start with Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Will Kenny Pickett throw for 2 touchdowns or more for the first time ever?
I think that he will, and this is why I think that he will. Week 1, you play this amazing San Francisco defense. He did manage to get a touchdown throw to Muth. Last week, he played this pretty darn good Cleveland Browns defense. He managed to get a touchdown pass to Pickens. Now, you get this Raiders team that's from what I see, they're average at best. I think if there is a game that we're going to see a little bit of a turnaround, it's going to be a game like this here or the game next week against the Houston Texans. And I do believe in one of those 2 games, I'm going to say just for the sake of your segment, Brian, it's going to happen this week. But I do think Kenny Pickett gets his 2-touchdown game against the Raiders.
Scott, what do you say?
I'm drinking water over here. I don't know what he's drinking.
That's the Kool-Aid.
I guess so. I'll give him 2 first downs.
All right.
And I'll be happy with that. I will be ecstatic if he can get 2 first downs a quarter. And we're not just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and hoping that Highsmith has like the career of his lifetime and does what he did last week. That's what I'm hoping for, but I just don't see touchdowns. But let's start small. First down.
Right.
That's my answer. No,
Ralph,
I don't even see one passing touchdown from Kenny.
What do you think? Will Kenny Pickett finally break out and have a multiple touchdown game?
I believe he may, because the reason I say this is Tomlin said in his press conference yesterday when someone asked him about the offense, he says he is going to talk to Matt Canada and fix it. So I don't know what's going to be fixed. Mike Sullivan, not the one that coaches the Penguins, the quarterback's coach for the Steelers, he's the one that's always in Kenny Pickett's face down on the sideline. He's supposed to be this big-time quarterbacks coach. He coached Eli Manning with the Giants. I'll find out, but I think it might happen because their defense is not that good. The only guy they got on defense is Crosby. That's good, that linebacker. That's it.
Well, in a little different mode here with college football, Mike Tomlin was pushing the blame on the offensive coordinator. What about Pat Narduzzi and him doing a very similar thing and pushing the blame on his offensive coordinator?
Well, Pat Narduzzi thinks like mediocre Mike, and he said in his press conference here after the game that he was involved with, or he's involved in the. On Monday on his press conference, he said, Pat Narduzzi, and I quote, "I'm in the defensive room all the time. I let Frank Cignetti handle the offense." So I guess this is Frank Cignetti's choice as to who's going to be the quarterback. But see, he's the head coach, Pat Narduzzi, and like Scott said, he should be the head coach, which means he should be the one that says Phil Jurkovec doesn't play. All right, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Is Jurkovec's backup that bad that he can't get a nod?
No, he's very good. He's very, very good. I heard Jerry DePaula told me that the competition was very intense at spring ball, and this Christian Valou is not. He can start.
What year is he?
They decided to go with Jurkovec.
What year is he?
He's a freshman.
Okay, so maybe they just went with the older, the 6-year senior, the red shirt / COVID / whatever, the 19th year senior Jurkovec. Okay, I see. Do you see Pitt doing anything against North Carolina this Saturday?
No. They're gonna get slaughtered, I think, because North Carolina has a very good offense and a good defense. Now, North Carolina's been in I think their first game or the last game, I think they were in a dogfight. Okay, but what I'm saying is North Carolina was in a dogfight with somebody, and I can't remember who they played. But anyway, let's see what happens. I'd like to see them beat North Carolina. Their record against North Carolina is not that good. I remember the one game with Dan Marino, they played at Three River Stadium. North Carolina won 7-6. So, I mean, but our record with North Carolina hasn't been that great. But we'll see what goes on. I think North Carolina's going to blow them out. It's North Carolina 28, Pitt 7.
All right, we got WVU at home versus Texas Tech. Any thoughts on that game?
Well, I'm not sure how good Texas Tech is. I would have to find out. I do know that West Virginia did what they did against Pitt, and Neil Brown is on the hot seat.
Right.
I had a reporter on from West Virginia on my show, and he said he's on the hot seat this year. So he won one of the two key games he was supposed to win.
That was going to be my question to you. Do you think he got out of the hot seat with a convincing win over Pitt? Because that looked pretty convincing. The score didn't reflect to me. I watched the game. It just looked like that was, even though you were hoping Pitt could, you still have a chance, but not playing the same way. You got to change your team or something. And so I think Neil Brown's safe now.
At least for a week, right?
Yeah, so do I.
He was so nice to my kid. Like, I've got to root for the guy. He was just a very, very nice gentleman to all the students down there at WVU the other day when I was down there. Okay, we've got Iowa number 24 going into Penn State number 7 Saturday night at 7:30. What are you thinking about that game, Ralph?
Well, Kurt Ferentz from Iowa is a great coach, been around a long time. James Franklin, of course. I have respect now for Penn State because they have two local recruiting coaches that were in high school, Terry Smith from Gateway, and they have Bob Pelko working for them now as a recruiter. So what I'm thinking is I think Penn State's going to win this game. They always win at home. Iowa's a tough team. They have good linebackers, good defense all the time, good offense. They run the ball. They're like, they'll grind the ball. That's what they do in Iowa. And so we'll see what goes on, but I think Penn State's going to win that game. I'm going to say Penn State 21, Iowa 10.
Have you been keeping an eye on the Prime in college? Because I know that seems to be the talk. They've jumped up to the ranking of 19th. They haven't really beat anybody, and they're 19th in the nation just because he's getting so much publicity, I think. But they're playing a big team, Oregon, this week. Do you think Prime's going to show up? I think that's the game of the week till he loses. I don't care. And they even took game day.
I think it is, too. I agree with you on that.
9.3 million watch Colorado versus Colorado State.
Record. It was a record.
I was up at 2:30 a.m. watching this game.
Well, 2.4 million watched the Backyard Brawl, and then right after that, we went right into the Colorado State game.
I was I wanted to stay up. It wasn't like I decided to go to bed. I was just sitting there with the TV on, and my eyes just went shut.
All right, Ralph, we got about 30 seconds. Any last thoughts on some sports?
Not really. You know, Pirates got blown out last night. Don't forget October 3rd. I'm doing a Pirate closing show. I have John Prado coming on, Marty Leap from Rum Bunter, and Claudio Rosano, who's the head coach of the CMU baseball team and part of Steel City Sports World. All three of those guys are going to be on with me, with our show, with myself and Smoke and Jim Frazier on October 3rd.
All right, and you can catch the Ralph Williams on the Sports Corner every Tuesday from 5 to 6 here on Beaver County Radio. You've been listening to WBVP 99.3, and you can check us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, so stay tuned.
TEK Roofing Specialists are known for quality, honesty, and efficiency. You can reach them at 412-969-1167. Whether it's a small leak or a new roof, TEK Roofing Specialists will fix the problem. Check out TEK Roofing on Facebook to see quality work they've done. TEK Roofing uses only the best products like Tamco's Titan XT Premium Shingles with a 160-mile-per-hour wind warranty. That's TEK Roofing Specialists, 412-969-1167. Insured, licensed, and certified.
Thanks for tuning in to Beaver County Radio, created by local people in the St. Barnabas studios. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
If you have big plans for this fall, like a new car or home remodeling project, but feel like it's getting a little late in the game and you're out of timeouts, it's time to call an audible. A 749 audible. 749. This is Coach Andy Dingle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. The best call of the day is the one you'll make to Freedom United Federal Credit Union. 24-month personal loans for almost any purpose are now available with approved credit from 7.49%. With buying power like that, you'll easily score the deal on almost anything that you'll be looking for. Hurry! The defense is setting up, and it looks like there's an opening right through the doorway into Freedom United Federal Credit Union. So get up to the line, the teller line that is, and call your own 749 Audible. Stop in for details. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Your success is our success. We belong to you.
Beaver County High School football has always been known as the best high school football around. And again this year, everybody around the world will get to see and hear the action on Beaver County Radio. This Friday night, it's a Parkway Conference showdown as the Central Valley Warriors host the Newcastle Red Hurricane at Sarge Albert Stadium. Coverage begins with pregame at 6:30 and kickoff for the game is set for 7. Friday night's game can be seen live on our Facebook page at WBVP-WMBA, along with our YouTube page at BCR Radio, and online at BeaverCountyRadio.com, along with your radio dial. High school football on Beaver County Radio this season is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales of Monaca, and Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, among others. So tune in every Friday night right here on Beaver County Radio.
Hey, Peanuts!
Welcome back to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studios here with co-host Scott Kincaid. Our producer Ryan is here to take your calls at 724-774-1888. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tamco Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. Before we get into the Steelers and Raiders, though, Scott, do you want to tell us a little bit about TEK for me?
Yes. This is the craziest time of year. I know you guys, everybody does it. They do it every year. I don't know why I think it's ever going to change. As soon as the hoodie goes on, people go, oh, you know, I was supposed to get my roof fixed. Are we going to have time to get that new roof put on? The answer to that question should be yes. 412-969-1167. We work year round. They actually have winter applications now for the Titan XT. We put them on all winter. So don't think that you can't have a roof put on in the winter, but also don't think that just because you're getting late you can't get me. I will definitely be glad to come out there, show you everything about Tamco's Titan XT shingle, get on your roof. I did a satellite report of your house so that you can see the exact dimensions and know that I am not trying to take advantage of you, which seems to be the trait of other companies, is to not tell you exactly how big your house is and then tell you this is how much it is per measurements and whatnot, and they take advantage of you that way. And we don't do that. We're very transparent here at TEK, and extra busy. And we do just about anything. If you need a bathroom fan put in, I did 2 of them today. If you need that get done, we do that part too. So there's really not a whole lot of stuff that we won't be able to take care of, but we definitely want to take care of your roof. Attack of raccoons is the latest victim, strange victim. We just put a rubber roof on.
Raccoons ruined a roof?
Well, she's always had raccoon problems.
Okay.
And so the roof is actually underneath her deck in her backyard. She lives up in Mount Washington. You know, everybody's on a cliff.
Right.
And these raccoons are crawling underneath the deck on top of this rubber roof and just because they used to nest there, I guess is what my understanding is the reason why they keep coming back. She's tried everything. So
the last customer, I just finished up their bathroom. I'm still waiting on a pocket door and a door. They had these like woodpeckers that would just like attack the house. It scared the crap out of me a couple times. Yeah.
This has been the year of the raccoon. We had one where I sealed up a hole in the roof and didn't know there were raccoons in there, and then I got a call at 11 o'clock at night, and we ran out there to take the hole off because the babies were in there, and mom and dad were out foraging for food and came back, and I guess the screams
Wrecking Homes, Scott, Wrecking Homes.
Raccoon parent is just horrifying to little kids that are right outside, like right inside their bedroom, and there's a raccoon screaming bloody murder out their window. And so we had to take care of that. That's I think I've had at least a half a dozen raccoon incidents this year, so I don't know what that means here in Pennsylvania. They are definitely they have opposing thumbs, right?
I don't know.
It's like a dog with opposing thumbs. He can grab a baseball bat and swing it at you. That's why he's such a lovable character on that movie with Chris Pratt we were talking about. He's the raccoon in what's the space movie Chris Pratt does? I forgot the name.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I thought I was gonna have a brain freeze there for a second.
Right. So I mean, everybody loves that raccoon, but you don't like the ones that are eating your roof. So anyhow,
now, raccoons are the same color as the Las Vegas Raiders, and I just looked up their depth chart because I was trying to see who was all, because they've done some overhauling. So other than Max Crosby on defense, they do have Mr. Robert Spillane listed as a starting inside linebacker. Kenny Pickett better take advantage of that over the middle pass coverage.
Let's hope he takes advantage of something. You know, who's the injury? We asked earlier. I think we have a report back.
Yeah, Ryan's going to give us the injury update.
We do have the injury report, guys. Jacoby Myers, who's a receiver, he's questionable. He's out with concussion. He participated in practice today, but again, still questionable for the game. Chandler Jones, defensive end, he's questionable.
I automatically thought of Chandler Bing from Friends.
From Friends. Defensive tackle,
is that guys?
Bilal Nickel, he's questionable. And then, of course, the more serious injuries that are guys on the IR or guys like the cornerback Brandon Faxian, Dalton Wagner, who's an offensive tackle, Britton Brown, who's a running back, and Darian Butler, who's a linebacker. So they're not too banged up. It doesn't seem to appear that they're as banged up as we are.
And a lot of teams, it seems like a lot of people are banged up real early.
Yeah, and a lot of marquee names, you notice, are the big injuries right now.
All those precautions in the preseason went out the window by week 2. I mean, there's injuries up and down the NFL.
Yeah.
Right. And then, I mean, but our big one, what is Hayward? He's our big number that's out right
Fitzpatrick
now.
isn't a guarantee to play.
Right.
With those contusions, a.k.a. some bruising of the chest and after that hit.
Many may argue as well, somebody like Deontay Johnson, who is considered our number 1 wide receiver, he's now out for 4 weeks because they put him on the IR, so we're not going to see him back for 3 more games.
Here's what I don't get. With him being out, you would think that Freiermuth would have stepped up, and he had 2 catches. Do we see Freiermuth getting more looks, especially with, like, Robert Spillane in coverage?
Pratt Freiermuth he has been the safe bet all the last season, he caught a lot of catches.
You have to be very accurate when you're throwing the ball to the tight end. He doesn't have that range. Kenny Pickett does not have that accuracy, which is why you're not seeing him targeted as much, I think.
I mean, Freiermuth has the most touchdown catches or something for a tight end in his first 2 seasons, like in forever. I mean, it's crazy numbers. I mean, he's a good tight end. We've gone to him in the past, just to get catches. I don't know what the answer to what you just said, Brian. I don't know why there was only 2 catches for, 2 yards last week?
Usually for a young quarterback, the tight end is like your safety net.
Yeah, right.
You may not be able to make that big play down the field, but you can hit that big 6'8" guy over the middle.
I think it comes down like Ralph was saying, mediocre Mike in the game plan. The game plan is Steeler football. We're going to run it 2 to 3 to 4 yards a carry, and hopefully we control the ball, and it takes us an entire quarter to score a touchdown, and then when you come out, our defense is going to stop you, and we're going to do the same thing again and again and again. But I still haven't seen that from Najee Harris. No breakout play. Still hasn't happened. I don't expect it to happen.
He had a nice 23-yard run the other last game.
Is that his record now?
I have no clue, but
I thought he had a big one.
36
he's
yards.
He's had 2 big runs so far.
36 yards is in his entire career. It's the longest he's ran, and that was in the last game of the year 2 years ago.
The thing about him, I think that we're going to have to pay close attention to him. Of course, last year he was battling this injury that, that kept him from doing a lot of things. This year so far, the first 2 defenses are really good. Again, not an excuse, but again, let's see what these players do from here on out against the Raiders, against the Texans. I think we're going to see a little bit of a different performance from a lot of these guys, but again, this is no excuse. This team just has to play better.
Yeah, I think
will the offensive line play better, because they were supposed to be much improved, and we've drafted a rookie that we don't play, and what are they doing?
The picket fence.
Yeah, I would say, the picket fence, and it looks like it, I don't know, needs repaired. Scott, can you take care of that?
I know. If I was lining up against a steel curtain or a picket fence, I'm choosing the picket fence. I'm probably going to win. Probably go right through a picket fence.
Oh, man. Don't get caught watching the paint dry. I love the movie Hoosiers. I'm sorry. So every time you say the picket fence, all I just think about is that play call.
Oh, so, let's go ahead and push him through.
All right, we got a
Tegan,
caller.
how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. Just love talking sports. We almost getting towards the end of Steeler talk here, but we're happy that you called. What was your perspective? What is the talk up there in Cleveland now that you don't have your star? Well, I say your star, not the one you're paying for, but the other one that got hurt. I saw you guys signed another running back already.
At least we have somebody that knows the offense, going to be back in the system. He's fresh. That's all we can ask for. But I think Jerome Ford, our new RB1, is going to surprise a lot of people. He's kind of like that hybrid style. He can run in between the tackles. He can run up the middle. He can run a counter. He can catch the ball in the flats. He can kind of do it all. But
I did like his performance. It wasn't he wasn't the reason, and neither was Chubb the reason you lost the game.
He had about a 70-yard run, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah,
70.
69
It would have been a touchdown if he didn't. So he got tripped up just short of the goal line.
Right.
Yeah, he looked good.
See, I like him, but what can you tell us about Deshaun Watson? Are they already trying to find somebody to buy him, or see if is he on the market again? Is there anybody out there that'd pay that kind of money, or are we just eating crow in Cleveland over Deshaun Watson?
Well, I will say this in the press conference, post-game, and back in Cleveland, he completely took all the blame for it. So, he admitted to his faults. But, who knows? The Nick Chubb thing, could that have rattled everybody? Maybe. But that starting the game off with that crappy pass to Harrison Bryant, which led to a touchdown, that really that was really bad.
I don't know if you caught the beginning of our show, but that's kind of how we started off the show today. It was like the interception for a touchdown. That's how we started our show at 4:00 today.
I was in shock with the first play of the game. It was the first play of the game, correct? Outside of the kickoff. I mean, that was the first play. And I was in shock. I was like, well. And it almost kind of reminded me of the Bears Colts Super Bowl when they ran the kickoff back for a touchdown. And you thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be hard for Indianapolis, and yet that was the only score they had, and it was downhill. Of course, that game didn't repeat against the Steelers and the Browns, but just the same, I had that feeling that this could be ugly fast, and I don't know. I think the Nick Chubb thing was just shocking to me. I can't stand to see things like that happen in any sport. Like I told you guys earlier, my prayers go out to him and his family. That's just a terrible injury. But I still don't think that was the reason you guys lost the game. I think it was the quarterback play for sure.
Well, we are going to get into that on the other side of this break. We have Tegan, our Cleveland insider, but you've been listening to WBBP 99.3.
You stay with
us, and you can
us,
check
Tegan.
us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Tegan.
Shop and Save be your one-stop shop for all your tailgate party needs this football season. Both stores have a full-service deli, bakery, and meat department to help you plan that perfect tailgate party to root on your favorite team. While you're at Tusca Shop and Save, you can check out the Beer Cave in the Beer and Wine store. Stop into the East Rochester Shop and Save and see the exciting new store as the remodel nears completion with a grand opening planned for mid-October. Score a touchdown this fall with your guest by shopping at Tusca and East Rochester Shop and Save. Make your extra point by earning free gas with fuel perks on all food purchases.
For generations, Beaver Falls has had tremendous pride in their teams. After all, the saying, "Once a Tiger, always a Tiger," was based on a deep conviction and commitment toward excellence in the classroom and on the field. The Beaver Falls Athletic Department invites you to attend their events throughout the year and be a part of the Tiger tradition. For more details, visit the Beaver Falls Athletic Department online or call 724-843-7470. Thanks for your support from the Beaver Falls Athletic Department.
The local McDonald's restaurants are proud to be partners with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring Beaver County high school football games all season long. Stop in to any of the local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burritos, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Text McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Hey, Peanuts!
Welcome back to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studio here with co-host Scott Kincaid. Our producer Ryan is here to take your calls at 724-774-1888. We would like to thank our sponsors, Tamco Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. We have Tegan on the line. We're talking Steelers-Browns game. Tegan is our Browns insider. I predicted last Wednesday, Tegan, that the Browns had the better team, but they were going to find a way to lose. What happened?
Well, that was the most Browns thing the Browns could have done.
Well said.
6 minutes left, turning the ball over and then not coming back to win the game. So very, very much like the Browns. But, it comes down to Deshaun Watson. He's 22 for 40 with a touchdown and an interception. I mean, we're paying this guy $230 million, and
he's barely outperforming Kenny Pickett. He's
right.
Yeah, that was my concern. I mean, is he? What is going on with Cleveland? What's the mindset of these people who have this team where they're paying him mad money? You're expecting, good performance. What are people thinking up there?
I think it just comes down to that performance. People were upset by it. Hopefully the running game's going to be okay. We thought Amari Cooper wasn't going to play, so everybody was a little bit nervous about that. Amari did come out and almost had 100 yards receiving. But you look at the stats for what Deshaun's done the last 2 years, going down the field and over the middle, and it's just not the best.
He's not the same he was before all the incidences or while those incidences were going on.
Similar quarterback situations right now in Pittsburgh and in Cleveland. You have a quarterback you can't set down because you got too much invested in him, but yet you just can't stand to see him do the things that they're doing.
Who do the Browns have coming up next week, Tegan?
The Titans.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
Yes, they get them at home. Tennessee's coming up there, and they come off a strong win against they won in overtime. Who'd they win? Right? Who'd they beat? We were just talking about this game, the Titans game.
They
Chargers.
played the Saints.
They beat the Chargers.
And they beat the Chargers, yes.
Yes, they lost to the Saints in their opener by 1 point, which, I didn't expect much from the Titans, but I do think from what I've seen so far that Mike Vrabel has got a game plan. Amazing. You pay a coach for a game plan and you get one, and he can take a team that really on paper doesn't look near as good as some of these teams that have coaches that don't have a game plan that suits the team that they coach. It's funny. I remember when I went Tuesday, I was eating lunch down at the Pittsburgh Sports Bar down in Castle Shannon. It's a lovely place to have lunch. And I asked a fellow there about, what do you think happened? How did the Cleveland even lose that game with as terrible as we played? And he took a thing off of his cigarette pack, the little cellophane, and he took it off and he laid it on the table. You guys can't see it on the radio, but you can on Facebook. And he set it there. Well, I'll get some static electricity.
Oh, my goodness. It's magic.
It's magic. Anyhow, he said, you know what that is? I said, what's that? He goes, that's the Cleveland Browns trophy case.
Oh, Tegan.
And I was like,
he literally has a prop, Tegan.
That is why they lost. And I was thinking to myself, that's what Brian said, that the Cleveland's going to figure out a way to lose because I think they were a better team. I thought they were a better team on both ends of the ball. They were just the defense on Pittsburgh just splashed the crap out of them and came up with big plays when they needed to. And that's what happened to Deshaun Watson, even though they were able to get 20 points. They were able to put some points on the board. It wasn't like it wasn't the performance you were expecting to see from that offense. I was expecting something a little bit better.
I honestly believe this. Hi, Tegan. This is Ryan. What I think is if Nick Chubb doesn't get hurt, this game goes in favor of the Cleveland Browns. I believe that with all my heart. I believe the quarterbacks played similar. I believe both defenses played a really strong game. And it came down to that injury. If Nick Chubb doesn't go down, the Steelers were stopping him. They were having a hard time keeping him within, under 5 yards a carry, which is what he averages. I honestly believe with all my heart, if Nick Chubb doesn't go down, Cleveland wins this game. He goes down, Pittsburgh wins the game. That was the difference, was Nick Chubb.
I think the Nick Chubb changed their game plan, and they weren't ready for the game plan change. Right. People just couldn't get on the same page with now what are we trying to do.
And don't get me wrong, the running back had a great game. We mentioned a 69-yard run, but the Nick Chubb is the guy that we just can't stop. History, we just can't stop this guy. He is very strong. You can't tackle him. You need about 3 or 4 guys. That, in my opinion, was the big difference in this game.
Tegan, is there optimism still up in Cleveland, with all the high hopes? I know it's early, but or are people down and out about the Chubb injury?
It's mixed emotions right now. It's, a lot of people are already thinking, because we go into next year of Chubb's last year of his most recent deal. So, that might have been the last game we see Nick Chubb in the Cleveland Browns here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It might be the last time you see him in a uniform. That was a pretty vicious injury. And like I said, my prayers go out. So while I still got you on the line, we have to talk a little bit about this Titan XT. I was with a customer today, Tegan, and they were interested in Owens Corning, our competitor, because of the color Onyx Black. And I was able to go pull up his chart, and so I wanted more of my listeners to hear this, but you can confirm what I'm saying. I was able to pull up a chart. They just changed the names on a lot of the standard colors. So we at Tamco have Rustic Black. It's the exact same color as Onyx Black. Weathered Wood. It's the same color. They do a little bit different on the shadowing or the shading. It's to stay in patent. So like the dark line on the architectural is 1.5 inches on one and 1.25 inches on the other, something that you would never notice from the naked eye, but it's done that way. But all the color granules, they match the same. And so if you're out there thinking, oh, I really like the color of that shingle, Tamco has that color. So don't think that you're going to be stuck with a color that's and of course Tamco S also has, how many colors do we have, Tegan? I want to say at least 7 that nobody else has. There's the Old English pewter, the Slatestone gray, which has some red in it. It's a really neat color. So they have some that the other brands don't have, and they have all of the colors the other brands have. And so I just wanted to point that out to any of you guys that are thinking about shopping for, but I was in Home Depot and they had this redwood. Well, Tamco has that. It's just a different name for it, and it's the same color. Only difference is Tamco offers 160 mile an hour wind-proof warranty. And what else can you tell us a little bit more about the Titan XT real quick before we have to let you go?
I'd love to. And in addition to the color you were just talking about, rustic black, we have 14 other colors, which everything is proudly manufactured in Frederick, Maryland. Tamco is just under 80 years old. We're a third-generation owned, family-owned company, privately held. All of our products, all of our source goods are American-made. That's why we are America's Shingle.
Nice. I love to hear that. That's coming from a United States veteran. Love to hear American made. I don't know I don't know who else makes these anyway. Like I've never seen. I know they make them in Canada. There's a company out there that makes them in Canada. I've never seen a foreign shingle. I don't know the brands. Have you seen this yet before, Tegan? The 3-tab measures out 1 foot, and the Europeans don't use a foot.
Correct.
So it's not measured out to a foot. It's a little smaller. The 3-tab shingles are a little bit smaller because it's a metric measurement that they use. And I've ran into a few of those. How they got into Pittsburgh is beyond me. Don't know the source because they were 40 years old, so that was probably part of the reason why. I don't know where they came from. But are you excited about this Sunday, the Titans? Are you gonna go to the home opener up there in Cleveland?
You know, I won't be there. I'll be supporting from my couch. However, I am excited. Hopefully we'll have Kareem Hunt dressed and ready to go. But, you know, Jerome Ford, he's a former Alabama running back, highly recruited, transferred to Cincinnati, had a lot of success at Cincy. I'm excited to see what the kid does.
You got any kind of numbers you want to throw out there on the pick? We'll try to throw it in with ours. Or you might help one of us because I don't know where to pick this one. I kind of think this is going to be a high-scoring game. That's just part of me.
Is this Tennessee at Cleveland is what we're saying?
Yes. Tennessee at Cleveland.
Wow. I like Cleveland's chances in this.
Oh.
I don't have an opinion right now. Whenever we do our picks, I'll have it. What's your thoughts, Tegan? Are they going to win?
I'll do you one better. I think they will win. Weather should be nice. I'm just going to say, it's going to be a decent score, probably in the average of where the Browns have been scoring lately. But yes, I think they're going to come back. Deshaun Watson probably going to have a career day.
I'm looking at the quarterback power rankings right now, and Ray Tannehill for the Titans is 24th. Okay, out of 32.
Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, that's what I said. Ryan Tannehill. Disregard what your ears heard.
I thought you said Roy.
Deshaun Watson is the 25th in the power rankings. Tegan, can I give you one guess who's 32nd?
I probably have a for sure who I think it is, but why don't we tell the
Kenny Pickett is the 32nd ranked quarterback. So as bad as 24th and 25th are, gentlemen, 32nd is even worse.
Right. I mean, and at least Deshaun Watson has an MVP already. He doesn't have to. And Ryan Tannehill, he was the highest rated passer rating for, I don't know, was that 3 years ago? So they've already kind of accomplished, they've kind of been there. Kenny Pickett still has some room to grow.
You know,
We're
with
gonna
these
say
teams,
we're in
as
the
you're
Grove.
mentioning, guys, these teams that we're mentioning with your Tannehills and your Watsons and your Kenny Pickett's, these aren't going to be the teams that are going to beat your San Franciscos, your Buffaloes, and your Kansas Cities in the playoffs. I honestly don't think that. I think that when it comes to the playoffs, those teams are just better. I still think that it's a little bit down the road. Before
Rams were so picked to be so bad this year, and they gave the 49ers everything they could. So
they're within their division, though.
You're judging the 49ers to be so great over a Steeler team that's really that bad. And so I don't. The verdict's still out on the 49ers. I don't think
when the Browns are
I
bad,
don't think they're the best team in
and
the
we're
NFL.
good. When the Ravens are good and we're bad. It's a division. Nobody knows that team better than we do. You play them twice a year. 49ers, we play once every 4 years. So you don't have the insight that a lot of teams within that division have. I think that's the difference, and that's how the Rams kept that close.
All right, we're going to be talking more sports when we come back. You've been listening to WBBP 99.3, and you can check us out at Beaver County Radio, Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
TEK Roofing Specialists are known for quality, honesty, and efficiency. You can reach them at 412-969-1167. Whether it's a small leak or a new roof, TEK Roofing Specialists will fix the problem. Check out TEK Roofing on Facebook to see quality work they've done. TEK Roofing uses only the best products like Tamco's Titan XT Premium Shingles with a 160-mile-per-hour wind warranty. That's TEK Roofing Specialists, 412-969-1167. Insured, licensed, and certified.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
Whatever you need, wherever you need us. With 3 hospitals, 7 medical neighborhoods, and many community satellite facilities, Heritage Valley Health System has your medical needs covered. Heritage Valley has a long-standing reputation for providing the finest health care in our service area. For a full listing of our services and physicians, please visit heritagevalley.org. When you need first-rate health care, there's a Heritage Valley facility nearby. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
Hey, Peanuts!
Welcome back to the Hey Peanut Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studios here with co-host Scott Kincaid. Our producer Ryan is here to take your calls at 724-774-1888. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tamco Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all of your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. I'd also like to give a shout out to our favorite local bar, Just One More Sports Bar, right downtown Beaver Falls. You know, Scott raves about their sandwich. Tell me about their sandwich, Scott.
Oh, I love the
I know all about it because I've eaten it 100 times.
Supreme grilled cheese with bacon, and I get the pub chips. You get the waffle fries.
Yes, you can get bacon or you can get ham, and Scott goes with the bacon. But they have over 20 TVs. So if you want sports this weekend, college sports, get down there on Saturday. If you want pro sports, get down there on Sunday and watch your favorite team. The service is great. Drinks are reasonably priced.
The best wings. They have the best wings. 42 different flavors on Thursday nights. Tonight's antipasta Pittsburgh style, which is fries and
they also do some live music. What's Morgan?
Morgan Gruber.
Morgan Gruber has played there several times.
She's played there a couple times. She's all over the place. She's always playing somewhere. Hopefully she's going to call in here. I'm expecting to get a call from her. She just released a new song on Friday. She was also voted Pittsburgh's number one country singer of Pittsburgh because she had to be from here for that category. So she's the number one country singer from Pittsburgh, which is not a small, that's a big honor.
Yes.
She was on American Idol.
She spent plenty of time down in your neck of the woods. She goes,
She's absolutely adorable.
Yes.
So you just can't help but just fall in love with her when you see her, and then you hear her sing, and then you just get lost in it. She's a country music singer. You're not in the country.
I listen to country.
Do you?
I'm looking forward to her calling
Who's your
in.
favorite singer of all time? Country music. If you had to pick one country music artist that you had to listen to, and that was it,
who does the Cotton Eye Joe song?
I have no idea. I should.
I do like Georgia Strait. All my exes live in Texas. That's my favorite song. Country song.
My list is too big, but I always have to go back to Johnny Cash, man. He's the king.
Well, yeah.
I just couldn't do without him. But there's a lot
Does
of
Elvis count
music.
as country?
Well, of course.
Well, then I'd have to go
King of
Elvis
rock.
even.
Well, he's king of rock
he
and roll.
changed it,
The
Whatever,
name,
gospel
He had
albums.
religion
Christmas
album.
albums.
Yes.
Right.
the name of the people that do Cotton Eye Joe is the Rednecks, actually. REDNEX.
There you go. That's perfect.
It's still played at stadiums. I mean, right?
Oh, you hear it everywhere. I do.
So anyway, this weekend I got to finally, pop my cherry, so to speak, on calling a game. Was I not supposed to say that? Ryan? You just made this look like, is that a bad phrase to use?
This happened at a game?
I was calling the game. It's the first time I ever called the game. Like, hey, 34 on the tackle, Ryan Gajakis.
Who was? Oh, for your kids?
Yeah, it was for my kids.
Okay.
But I did all three of them. I did the flag teams and then the Pee-wee and the mid.
Do they play? Are they all from the same community, or do they play kids from other neighboring communities?
Oh, yeah, it's all school-based. So we played in the Shannick.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Were you like, when the Shannick had a nice rush, you're like, 20-yard rush? Little brat.
No, I didn't. But it was an interesting experience because I was thinking I was going to get this high tech. We just spent like $2 billion or $2 million on a new football field and all that stuff in Elwood City. So I'm thinking, and I didn't get an opportunity to go check the press box out until game time. So you get 30 minutes to see how to work the stuff. They didn't give us the good stuff. I just got a microphone with a switch that goes on and off, and then the clock. And then you realize that the clock's not necessary except for in midget. So the first two games, I got 2 volunteers to help me do a clock that doesn't need to be done. But there's a rebate thing if you volunteer and help out the team. So they're not going anywhere. They're getting a rebate. So we're here, Scott. And then they forget that I'm calling the game, and you can hear them talking in the background. So I had to keep sitting the switch. But it was interesting. It was really fun to do. Because I don't know the kids, and a lot of these names up here are very hard for a Southern man to say. But I did the best
Smith.
I could. No.
Johnson.
No, that is not the names. I should have brought the roster and let you try to read them. It was like, the Slovakian Olympic volleyball team I was calling the game
no
for.
vowels.
Right. And so, but if you called their name, and when the kids said, I tried to look at the numbers and then call, if he made the tackle. Once you said the name, you could always, I could spot out in the crowd where their family
parents were.
because they would be cream and scream. And so then after then I learned, all right, so now it's a learning process. Everything's a learning process. So this one is, so now I'm going to make sure I say everybody's name that's on the list. Number 75 on the, John Black on the sidelines. And just so you hear John Black, and then they'll scream, hey, John, let's go.
I don't know how this team's going to do because I didn't see this 9-year-old throw the ball yet.
Somebody play Cotton Eye Joe.
They don't have a chance.
Well, then we had to do the national anthem, and they put that on me, and I had no chance to prepare. So I'm like,
you had
the
to
national
sing?
anthem. No.
Oh, God, Ryan, we should have gone if he had to sing it. He would have been worse than Roseanne Barr.
We're getting this on
Thank God
video.
for the phone, because if I didn't have the phone, there was no way I was going to. I would have had to sing,
hum it,
or grab a girl, grab one of those. But can you sing? Come sing the national anthem.
Hey, the fans would have helped you.
I had to hold my phone up, and we listened to Carrie Underwood, which is my favorites.
That's a rough thing to put on somebody at the last moment. Here, just sing the national anthem.
Yeah,
not just anybody.
Yeah.
Not just anybody does that.
When they asked me, the first impulse was to do Roseanne Barr's. I thought, no, they'll probably kick me out of the press office.
Well, I
a lot
had
of veterans in Elwood City, they don't think that's funny. I thought it was a funny one.
I had a similar experience this past Saturday. So I do the play-by-play for the Dart Player Pittsburgh's Dart tournaments, which they hold one every month. The next one will be on on the 7th, and I do the play-by-play of the live streams. And
you're getting rave reviews. I've seen it.
Yeah, there are thousands and thousands of people watch. So I appreciate everybody that checks that out. If you didn't go on to Dart Player Pittsburgh's Facebook page, you could just scroll down and you can watch any match. And it's very great. I love darts. It's a great semi-sport. I don't know. It's not a sport, but it is a sport, but it isn't. But
it's like golf.
It was very entertaining. The matches were close, so I had a good time myself on Saturday.
I do got to say, Brian, I did notice that on social media. I seen that you were very involved in darts. And has this been something you've been doing for a long time?
Not that long. I started playing because a buddy of mine said, "Hey, you're not bad at darts," because we were just goofing around one Friday night or whatever. He goes, "You want to play in a league?" And I'm like, "Well, what's that?" Right. So then I go and I play in a league, and then I go to these big tournaments, and I won the first big tournament I ever went to. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to be really, really good at darts. And then I started playing more and more, got pretty good, and thought I was going to be the best dart player. And it turns out for years now, it's just my neck, my shoulder, my arm, I can't practice because just injuries, and I've gone from being a pretty solid dart player at one point in time to now I'm good.
You're
but
the Aaron Rodgers of darts.
I was not the Aaron Rodgers of darts. I wasn't even the Duck Hodges of darts. But darts is great. There's a lot of great talent in the area. People come in from like Rochester, New York, Michigan, Virginia. So you're not just getting people from Pittsburgh. It's a great tournament.
That's cool, man.
I noticed this thing. Have you heard of this thing yet? It's the new thing. It's coming. Because we're talking about oddity sports here all of a sudden, which I don't think darts is an oddity sport. It's a bar sport, but
yeah,
just the same. It comes along with whatever they. What's the thing they slide on the
shuffleboard?
But it's bar shuffleboard, not the one, and not the Floridian way where you retire and you go out there and do it on the sidewalk.
Curling, shuffleboard.
Curling, yeah.
Shuffleboard is you got a long stick. No, is that also shuffleboard?
Yeah.
But it's called something else. Actual shuffleboard is what you would do on the Love Boat.
Okay.
You have a stick, and it's the same thing, but it's bigger, and they have a small version. They put.
Have you seen curling as well when they do it on ice? Like
yeah. That's
so
Olympic
that's
sport.
not
I love
that.
That's one of my favorite. No, this is a new one. It's called feather bowling. I'm going to show you a picture because you have no idea. Look at you can see how curved the thing is, and the idea is to roll those things and get it closest to the feather. So it's a game that was invented in
it's like a quarter of a moon shape.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you
for you listeners
all you gotta
out
do
there,
is Google feather bowling, you'll get an idea. There's one outfit that does it in Detroit. They just built another one in New York. This thing started in Europe, but it's all the rave. They are sold out, booked for 30 days in advance. You cannot play this game in New York once they built it.
Wow.
Detroit, you got to get on a list to play this game. This is a new game. So feather bowling, and you're not bowling a feather. You're bowling a ball to get close to the feather. I don't know all the rules, but I know I'm into this oddity type sports.
Right.
It's fun to me. But
I learn something new every week talking to you. I really do. Last week it was the frisbees, and every week it's something new.
They're
with you.
discs. They're not
Disc
frisbee.
Hey, a shout out to so one of my buddies. His name's Matt Orams. We're going to talk about disc golf real quick. I know he's probably not listening, but maybe he will. So I'm saying his name, and you know how this works. All I got to do is think Peanuts, and I'm Google it. Peanuts comes up on my phone. So but anyway, Matt Orams, young kid, when I was growing up, his dad was one of the pioneers that started the Southern National Tour. And he was just a little kid. He was like 8 or 9 when I met him, and he was slinging the disc. Now he's big-time pro, won his first major elite tournament this last weekend. So shout out to him. That's a big deal. When you're winning 5 digits, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a weekend's worth of throwing the frisbee around at this golf course. To me, that's a big thing.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't know. Even in darts, how much do you get in darts? You got to really go a long ways to make $20,000 in darts, right? That's not like a high.
I'm sure you can make
sport.
millions, depending, but or break even and maybe pay for your hotel room. You know what I mean? Like
that's the way disc golf was when I was playing. You were hoping to win, so you could pay for the gas, the food, and the hotel for your trip, and then it was a free trip, and you had a blast, and you got a trophy.
Well, I have an Oddity Sports story here for you. We got less than a minute here. We're going to go to break. We're actually going to talk NFL picks next segment, so stay tuned for that. But
that's my favorite part of the show.
My ex-girlfriend, very attractive young lady, very smart girl. Just I don't know, things just didn't work out between us.
Which ex are you talking about now?
The ex.
Okay.
Okay. So she randomly sends me a message like 2 weeks ago, right? And she goes, "Do you know how to play pickleball?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's like tennis, but it's also like table tennis, and they kind of just combine the rules." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I've never played it, but I know the rules." And she goes, "Do you want to meet up and play pickleball?" So, of course, I say yes, and we went and played pickleball for a couple hours. I taught her all the rules, and the courts, there were 6 courts where we went, and they were all filled. And it's a funny story. I had to go and set a tub today with my brother on a job, and then I had to go to my job. And after we set the tub, it was about 9:45 in the morning, and I drive past this park, and they have 2 pickleball courts full. 9:45 in the morning, pickleball, full.
And people waiting.
People love this pickleball. I'm hearing about it a lot.
So
if it got popular in prison.
If your ex-girlfriend texts you and asks you to play, I suggest going to play pickleball with your ex.
Pickleball is an acceptable sport for you to play in prison, and so they're in just about every prison, everywhere. Every state prison has pickleball for the long-term inmate.
Huh.
And
I do not want to find out. I will take your word on it.
Well, so, I mean, that's how it's. That's one of the sports. So it's in all there. So I mean, a lot of guys that you probably never meet love the game. They play it all the time in prison.
Well, you've been listening to WBVP 99.3, and you can check us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, so stay tuned.
Here's one powwow your bow wow won't want to miss. It's the first annual Tri-State Pet Expo Saturday and Sunday, September 23rd and 24th at the Beaver Valley Mall in Monaca. Presented by Deal Automotive and Wags on 3rd and Beaver and the Beaver Area JCs. If you're looking to enhance the lives of your beloved fur kids, this is one free event you won't want to miss. Experience agility and training demonstrations, educational courses on basic pet first aid, pet nutrition, dog body language, a pet costume contest, and much more. The first annual Tri-State Pet Expo, September 23rd and 24th at the Beaver Valley Mall. For generations, Beaver Falls has had tremendous pride in their teams. After all, the saying, "Once a Tiger, always a Tiger," was based on a deep conviction and commitment toward excellence in the classroom and on the field. The Beaver Falls Athletic Department invites you to attend their events throughout the year and be a part of the Tiger tradition. For more details, visit the Beaver Falls Athletic Department online or call 724-843-7470. Thanks for your support from the Beaver Falls Athletic Department.
September is a great month to get behind the wheel of a new pickup truck, and Moon Township Ford has just what you're looking for. Whether you need a compact pickup for hauling garden supplies or a heavy-duty worksite hauler, there are plenty of great incentives on trucks of all kinds right now. Visit Moon Township Ford and order your all-new Ford Maverick, all-new Ford Bronco, or all-new Ford Super Duty. There are limited quantities available to order as spots are being filled quickly, so don't wait. If you're looking to purchase a truck, you can take advantage of some great no and low interest financing offers this month. Moon Township Ford has discounts up to $5,000 off MSRP, plus even more additional rebates from Ford if qualified, plus rates as low as 1.9% on select F-150s. If you're looking for a new truck, September is your month, and Moon Township Ford is your dealer.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Hey, Peanuts!
Welcome back to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studio here with co-host Scott Kincaid, and our producer Ryan is here to take your calls at 724-774-1888. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tampico Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all of your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. Also, tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, get yourself down to Just One More Sports Bar on 7th Avenue and 10th Street down in downtown Beaver Falls. They have over 20 TVs, great food, great service. Make sure you check them out. All right, well, Ryan.
The moment of truth, guys.
It is my favorite part of the show. Why don't you take it over?
This is what we've all been waiting for, guys. This comes down
We
to...
need a drum roll.
I know, we do need a drum roll. Scott, could you do like you used to do in school with your fingers on the table? All right, there you go. We're working in with that.
Can you do like the little drummer boy?
So the anticipation is high, guys. What I have in front of me, I have the results from last week's picks that we made in the NFL.
Oh, God.
What we did was we went through every game. Brian picked a team, Scott picked a team, and I have the results right in front of me. It was very close. That's all I'm going to say. You guys ready?
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
First game, the Vikings and the Eagles. One of you guys, Brian, you took the Eagles. Scott, you took the Vikings. The Eagles win this game 34-28. Brian, that's one for you.
Vikings were winning that game most of the way and were the better team for whatever it's worth.
It was a good game.
I hate going against Kirk Cousins, and I do not like the Eagles. But I still picked them.
The Ravens, guys. The Ravens played who? Cincinnati. You guys both.
Cincinnati stunk.
You guys both picked the Ravens on this one, so nobody gains any leeway. 27-24, Ravens win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me pull up these games here. The third game, guys. Sorry about that. Seahawks and Lions. The Seahawks and Lions. Scott, you picked the Seahawks. Brian, you took the Lions. The Seahawks win this game 27-24.
Yeah, that was a close
overtime game. That was one of them overtime games. That was a close one. That was a good game. So I think that proved to me that the Seahawks are not a joke, even though they lost their opener. I think they're going to be around.
All right, so right now, Brian has one. Scott has one. Here we go. Fourth game on the list, the Texans and Colts. The Texans and the Colts. Brian, you took the Colts. Scott, you took the Texans. The Colts did win this game 31-20. So that gives Brian a slim lead.
It's about to get bigger.
I didn't do well.
Well,
I already know this.
Don't go.
Didn't he ask if I actually watched the games? I recall that.
Let's see here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears. Scott, you picked Tampa Bay. Brian, you picked the Bears, and Tampa Bay did win.
Interesting.
27-17. So you both have 2 wins as we speak.
I was looking at the Deshaun Watson stats, and I was looking at the Baker Mayfield stats, and Baker Mayfield is way outplaying Deshaun Watson already.
I know. That's terrible for Cleveland fans. I mean, and what they have to play Carolina. He was at Carolina. I imagine they're going to handle business to Carolina. Or did they play them last week?
I am not sure. I don't know. I know Ryan's going to go over the schedule with us when we go. Do we have a caller?
Oh, nice. Well, we can come back to
We'll
these.
come back to sports here. We have a special.
We definitely have a special.
We have a
guest.
really special caller, guys. Morgan Gruber. I'm going to let Scott go ahead and introduce her. Here you go, guys.
Hey, guys. Morgan Gruber, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. So glad you called in.
Welcome to the Hey Peanut Sports Show. This is Brian. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
You have been all the hype lately. I know American Idol was a big thing for you, but it seems like here lately, that just seems like it was a stepping stone for you. I love the new music. We're going to play for all you guys. We're going to play your latest song was released Friday. What's the name of the song? I forgot the name of the song. It's whatever
gets you through
whatever
it.
gets you through
it. I've listened to it.
Whatever gets us through the show, Scott.
I've listened to it several times since it came out. I really just love your music. Love everything that you're
Thank
doing. Anything you want to tell us? Did you win an award here recently? I think that was a big deal.
Yeah, so yesterday I just I found out that I won Best Country Artist of Pittsburgh. So that's pretty exciting. I definitely couldn't have done it without all the votes. So I really appreciate everybody voting for me.
I do have a question for you. When you were on American Idol, how were your nerves and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, so I was really nervous, but I had a really great community in Austin, Texas. That's where I first auditioned, and a lot of us kind of just stuck together. So I had a lot of people that definitely were a big support system. So I think that a lot of that calmed my nerves, just seeing that everybody was in the same boat, but we could get together and support each other.
Excellent, excellent. So you just released another song, and we are going to listen to it. I don't know. Ryan's trying to cue that up right now. Possibly we're having a little technical difficulty on that.
Before we go to the song, though, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Where are you performing? You're coming on the radio tomorrow again. You're going to come down to the station. But I'd like to let the guys know, if you don't know enough about Morgan Grouper, you can reach her on her Facebook page. She is just about everywhere. Yep. But you're always announcing new venues. Do you have anything big coming up that we could all go like put on our calendar? Like, let's go see Morgan here.
Yeah, so we actually have two big benefits that's coming up. One is for Country for a Cure. It's for breast cancer awareness, October 6th, and that's at the Hard Rock. All the money will be donated to the American Cancer Society. We also have a show at the Hard Rock as well, December 2nd. For Camp Star that helps amputees. We play at Jurgles. We play at all types of cool events. So definitely everything changes weekly. So if you guys want to go on all of my social media at It's Morgan Gruber, and I have all types of venues.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see you. One of our sponsors is Just One More Sports Bar. So hopefully you get to get down there. I missed you when you were there the last time, but if you get down there again, I'd love to go back there.
Yeah, I love playing down there.
Yeah, those guys are great. It's a great atmosphere in Beaver Falls. When you grew up here, I'd say Elwood City, but you went to Riverside, so I know it's weird. I live in Elwood City, so you probably live...
Fawnbell.
Fawnbell, yes. Love Fawnbell. Yep. It looks
Vecca
just
Drive.
like
I know where Fawnbell is.
That's right. It's in Zelianopoly.
There's Vecca, yes.
Zelianopoly.
Yes. Hey, Morgan, growing up here, since this is a sports show, are you a sports fan? And if so, are you a Steelers fan?
I don't watch sports too much, but I definitely would say that if I had to root for anybody, it'd definitely be the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah, my daughter, she doesn't watch too many sports. Okay. What do we got going over there, Scott?
What's that? Oh, well, we're trying to get through some technical difficulties here because your song's new. For some reason, it's not letting us play it. We're going to get your song on tonight. I want everybody to hear it. It's very, very, it's like comfort food to me. It's just a nice song.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I that's what you want. But if you really starting to feel like you just need to pick me up and need someone to make you feel a little bit better about yourself, this is the song for you. It's like eating a warm bowl of chili in December. So I got a quick question for you too. I'm also a big fan of Oliver Anthony. You know this fella?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we expect maybe a song for the people, by the people from you down the road? Are you going to try and do what he's doing? I mean, he didn't even sign a contract or go on. He just was sitting on his couch eating bonbons and wrote this song, and now he's the #1 song in the country. So
so I'm definitely working on some new music for sure. I definitely will have some original music coming out within probably the next year or so. But yeah, I definitely, one thing that the reason why I chose that song to record was just because I feel like it definitely helps a lot of people, whatever they're going through. And I think that it's in kind of similar to what he's doing as well, as just being able to, listen to that song and how everybody can deal with things differently. Because I love whenever songs tell stories and you can be related to it and it not just saying one specific thing. It's where, you can listen and everybody can have different opinions and have different relations to it. So I definitely think that that's 100% what I'm trying to do in this song, as well as all of my songs moving forward.
Okay, we got the technical difficulty taken care of, so we're going to take a listen to your new single.
You can only get jiggy with it so many times. I understand what you're saying. I like a song that has a message. And
Scott does like to get jiggy with it, so here we go, guys. You ready?
All right. It was great listening to you, Morgan. I hope to have you on again sometime. And then maybe if you have a free Saturday, let me know. I'm looking for somebody to sing the national anthem at the Mighty Midgets Wolverines game. I call the game down there right now. I don't have a recording of you singing the national anthem. You could just give me a recording. I'm gonna hold the phone up to the microphone so that they can hear it. That's the way. That's how high tech we are down there in Elwood City.
All right.
But I'd love to get you on the national anthem. I know you've done it. I just got to find a recording of it.
All right, guys, you ready?
Yes, thank you very much, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan. This is whatever.
Thank you so much.
Whatever gets you through it.
It's a Monday and the phone rings and it ain't the news you were hoping for. Another dead end door. It's the first hurt of a long week. Blindsided, knocked off your feet again. Right back down on where you've been. You might turn to the Bible. You might drown in a bottle. You might call your mama and cry with your best friend. You might have a come to Jesus. You might pack it all up and leave it. Whatever it takes to not break down when you wanna lose it. Whatever gets you through it, you better hold on to it. Whatever gets you through it. It was almost so perfect till you found out it wasn't worth it at all. Right after the fall. And when you hit that wall, you might turn to the Bible. You might drown in a bottle. You might call your mama, cry with your best friend. You might have a come to Jesus. You might pack it all up and leave it. Whatever it takes to not break down when you wanna lose it. Whatever gets you through Rhythm makes the heartbreak easier to take. You might turn to the Bible. You might drown in a bottle. You might call your mama, cry with your best friend. You might have a come to Jesus. You might pack it all up and leave it. Whatever it takes to not break down when you wanna lose it. Whatever gets you through it, you better hold on to it. Whatever gets you through it. Whatever gets you through it, you better hold on to it. Whatever gets you through it.
Thanks for tuning in to Beaver County Radio, created by local people in the St. Barnabas studios. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge. In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug Free Community Support Program. Now in its fourth year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
TEK Roofing Specialists are known for quality, honesty, and efficiency. You can reach them at 412-969-1167. Whether it's a small leak or a new roof, TEK Roofing Specialists will fix the problem. Check out TEK Roofing on Facebook to see quality work they've done. TEK Roofing uses only the best products like Tamco's Titan XT Premium Shingles with a 160-mile-per-hour wind warranty. That's TEK Roofing Specialists, 412-969-1167. Insured, licensed, and certified.
Tune into the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. You can tune in by turning your radio dial to Beaver County Radio or by clicking the audio streaming apps on your phone or computer. You can also watch the video stream of the show on Facebook Live or on our YouTube channel. The Coach's Corner is being brought to you by Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technical Center, Falcones Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter J. Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, and Beaver County Radio.
Hey, Peanuts!
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to the Hey Peanut Sports Show. I'm Brian Pasquale. I'm in the St. Barnabas studios here with co-host Scott Kincaid, with Ryan as well. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tamco Building Supplies, as well as TEK Roofing. Give Scott a call for all your roofing needs at 412-969-1167. Also, get down to Just One More Sports Bar. Great food. Great location, great venue. I'd like to thank Ralph Williams, who was on earlier from Sports Corner. He's on Tuesdays 5 to 6 with Smokin' Jim Frazier. I'd also like to thank Tegan from Tamco Building Supplies, as well as Morgan Gruber and her new hit single, Whatever Gets You Through It. Ryan, we are running out of time, so we need to get to it.
All right, guys, here we go. We are timed, so I am going to give you the results. The winner this week of the picks were, because we had to shorten things up because of our special guest, Scott. You took the L this week. Brian, you did win. Brian wins this week. But again, guys, this is only week 2.
It's collective.
But we never gave the results of the first week because you didn't have
I do
them.
have results
So
for the
who won
first week. This we will count because I didn't count. If you would like to count them now, you can. But as I said, we are
We're
battling
gonna get into
time.
that next week.
We can certainly do it right after the show.
We've got
And-
9 minutes.
How many games did he beat me by?
Like 42, I think.
Well,
No, there's
officially
16
it
games.
was by 3, but you did win a lot because of the tie that just didn't get counted. But you guys picked the same teams, so you technically lost by 3 games. So
Okay, so I'm down 3.
Maybe. You might have been up 1 or 2 from the first week, so it's
I
probably
think I was
close.
up.
right.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So here we go, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready for this week? This is week number 3 in the NFL.
This is like rapid Final Jeopardy.
Rapid Final Jeopardy. Here we go.
Excuse me.
All right, guys. The first game of the week is going to be tomorrow night. I think this game is interesting for many reasons. Guys, the New York Giants at the San Francisco 49ers. Scott, who do you like?
I like the 49ers in this one just because I don't think the Giants are good, even though they won last week. But I'll pick the Niners.
All right, safe pick, I
I'm
believe.
probably going to pick the Niners every week, so you could probably jot that one down
All right.
and number 2 pencil.
I do got to tell you, though, they do play the Cowboys in a couple weeks, and that defense I seen by Dallas, they're tough, man.
Micah Parsons is great.
Oh, man. All right, guys, second game of the week is Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock. The Atlanta Falcons, who didn't play a single starter in preseason, however, they sit at 2-0 against this Detroit Lions team who upset Kansas City in week 1. Brian.
I'm going with the Lions on the road
All right.
in the Dome.
Scott.
Yeah, I think the Lions have to bounce back because
He is just copying me already.
That's right.
He's going to copy and
You
paste.
copied me the first time. I said the Niners first.
All right, no, guys, that's all right. It's both went against the Falcons, who are Desmond Ridder. These guys are surprising a lot of people with this 2-0 record. Guys, third game, the L.A. Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings, 2 teams that I feel underperformed in the first couple of weeks of the season. Chargers at Vikings. Scott,
You still have a hard time saying L.A. Chargers. I saw you
I
had
say
to
San
struggle
You
to
know
hit
what?
it
I
down.
literally have to think about it every time. Every
Right.
time. This is going to take me years.
I have a hard time with the Raiders.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Scott. So, Chargers.
I think the Vikings. I think the Vikings take this one because they're at home and they need a win, and they've been in the game.
Okay.
So
Brian.
Give me the Vikings.
Going Vikings as well?
Oh, man.
You got to remember, though, Justin Herbert and the Chargers are 0-2. They're due for a win, but you guys are both taking Minnesota, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Next game. The Saints at the Packers. The Saints at the Packers. Brian.
I'll take the Packers.
Okay. Scott.
He's picking the Packers too. Look at him. That's fine.
Well, I kind of wanted to make it interesting so I could just fake my pick and say the
Yeah,
Saints.
but what if there's
I
only
don't
like
think
two
so.
picks
I
that are
think the-
difference?
I think the Packers are a
Yeah.
legitimate team. I don't know how they lost this last week. That was a tough loss for them because they looked good. They
was
still look
surprising.
good, and so it's a Love had to have a loss, right? He had to have a loss.
Yeah.
You love and you lost, and then you win again.
So you're going to go with Green Bay then?
Oh yeah, the Packers.
All right. Scott, the next game is the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston at Jacksonville.
Can we get a good matchup?
They're coming.
Can we get a good matchup? That's all I'm saying. The Jaguars should walk away with this one.
Taking
I
Jacksonville.
concur.
All right, we're gonna put you for
So
Jacksonville.
far, we are on course for.
It's gonna come down to the
Watch,
tiebreaker.
we'll all have the same picks, and then we'll be 0 for the whole weekend.
Yeah, right. You didn't win any, but you're tied.
It'll come down to the tiebreaker. All right, so here we go, guys. The next game is also a 1:00 game on Sunday. The Denver Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. Guys, Brian, who do you think's gonna win?
Oh, give me Tua all day. I like the Dolphins, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. I said we're going to be three of the most elite teams this year, and they haven't let me down yet. So I'm sticking with the Dolphins as long as Tua is not in concussion protocol.
They're all really good. Scott, Broncos at Dolphins. It's in Miami.
Yeah, I like the fish here.
Got to go with the fish.
I don't know how you can. That's what I said. Can we?
This
get
might
a,
be more
can-
interesting if we only have like two different ones. That'll make those games like super big.
Yeah.
Right. Then we only have to watch two really close, right?
This one's going to hit home to some people. The Tennessee Titans at Cleveland. Guys, let me start with Scott. Who do you think? Tennessee at Cleveland.
You know, I just like Vrabel right now. I like him, but I think the Browns are going to bounce back.
All right.
I think the Browns are going to win this at home. They're going to get a different game plan that doesn't have Chubb at the beginning of their game plan, and they're going to put something together. I think Deshaun Watson is going to probably play a little more conservative and not so footloose and fancy free, which is what he looked like he was doing. And so I like the Browns to come back, and I think they'll win this one.
Two hard-nosed
I think
teams.
it's going to be a close game. I do think this is going to be a close game, and I do think it's going to be kind of high scoring.
If you like old school football, I think this is what you're going to get with these two. You know, no great quarterbacks. Running games are tough. Both good defenses. Brian, what do you think? Titans at Browns.
I'm going to go with the Browns because they're going to dedicate this game to Nick Chubb, and that's going to make him play extra tough.
Okay.
We're still on the same pick.
That's
I
okay.
thought for sure you'd pick the Titans.
All right. No, you guys are still identical picks. The next game, guys, the Buffalo Bills at the 2-0 Sam Howell led Washington Commanders. Bills at Commanders. Brian, who do you think?
The Buffalo Bills on the road.
All right.
We finally have a mismatch here. I'm going to take the Commanders on
All
a
right.
whim here. I'm just going on
Washington
a whim.
football
just because,
team. Okay.
Well, they're 2-0. They're playing at home. We haven't talked about home advantage yet. This whole show, and I think that the fan doesn't get any credit. There's no home field advantage going on. We're just picking them.
All right, this one is going to mean something then because it's the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Indianapolis Colts. We all know that it used to be the Baltimore Colts. Home fans got to mean something in this game. Scott, Colts at Ravens.
On paper, this should be a no game, but I actually like the Colts. I saw something last week that I didn't think existed there. They have a tradition. They look solid, so I'm going to go with the Colts.
Colts, Brian.
I'm going with the Ravens as long as Lamar Jackson's healthy. They're going to be in every game.
Okay. Next game, guys, I think is going to be a really good one as well. The Patriots at the Jets. Patriots kind of an underachieving team at this point. The Jets lose their starting quarterback for the season. Brian, who do you think?
I'm going to go with who's at home?
The Jets are.
I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going with the Patriots too.
Yeah.
'Cause the Jets don't have a home field.
Okay.
It's in New Jersey. You think these people are leaving New York to go watch the Jets play in Meadowlands? I don't think so. I don't consider that a home field advantage.
All right, guys, we're going to move to the 4:00 games on Sunday.
We got like less than 2 minutes.
We got less than 2 minutes. The Carolina Panthers, Seattle Seahawks. Brian.
I like the Seahawks.
I like the Seahawks.
Okay. Chicago Bears at Kansas City. Scott.
I'm going with the Bears.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Okay. Steelers at Raiders. Brian.
I got to go with the Steelers. I think the Raiders are terrible, even though the Steelers have one of the worst offenses ever.
Scott. Steelers at Raiders.
I just can't pick the Steelers right now.
Okay.
Until you can throw a football and catch a football and have a game plan that makes sense, then I'm not going to.
So you're taking the hated Raiders.
They got to show me something.
All right, guys. Cowboys at Cardinals. Cowboys at Cardinals. Brian.
I'm going Cowboys.
Scott.
Cowboys. Oh, okay.
We have less than a minute, Scott.
Cardinals.
Okay.
I never bet on the Cowboys.
All right.
You should already know this. Andy.
2 games left, guys. They are both Monday night games. Eagles at Tampa Bay. Scott.
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Eagles.
All right. And
let's get this last one in.
Finally, the Rams at the Bengals. Brian.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
And Scott.
I like the Rams.
All right. I'm still on my end. You guys go ahead and take over.
All right. Well, we are just about out of here. This was a great show. Appreciate all of our guests. Ryan, did you have a good time?
I had a blast.
Scott, did you have a good time?
I had a blast. We didn't mention, make sure to pay attention to your podcast, Two Dumb Yinzers, every day at 11:30 with Ryan and another dumb Yinzer. What's your buddy's name?
Mike.
Mike.
Yes,
all right, guys.
Mike
You've been listening
Ryan.
to WBVP 99.3. And also, you can check us out at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. Have a great week. We will not be right
I'm
back.
sorry. I couldn't believe I couldn't remember it.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.